All right, today we're diving into a really powerful story by Pearl S. Buck called The Enemy. It's all about a doctor who's forced to make an impossible choice. I mean, what do you do when your professional oath clashes with your loyalty to your country, especially in the middle of a war? This is a choice that's going to push him to the absolute limits of his humanity.
So let's put it this way. Your sworn enemy is dying, right there at your feet. And you have the power to save him. What do? This isn't just some abstract philosophical question in this story. No, it's a real life-or-death decision for our main character. And it really makes you think, right? What does it even mean to be human when the whole world is just screaming at you to hate? Okay, so to really get into this dilemma, you've got to understand the man who's stuck right in the middle of it. He's this brilliant doctor, but he's completely caught between two different worlds.
So, let's meet him. Dr. Sadao Hoki. Picture this. He's living in this isolated house right on the coast of Japan during World War II. He's a man of science, but he's also a man of Japan. And it's right here, in this seemingly quiet, peaceful place, that the ocean is about to deliver a huge moral problem, literally, right to his doorstep.
This guy, Sadao, his whole identity is basically split right down the middle. I mean, on one hand, he's a famed Japanese surgeon and scientist, but he was educated in America. He's fiercely patriotic to Japan, but at the same time, he's devoted to saving lives, any life, above all else. You can just see how these two sides of him are on a collision course, right?
And yeah, that collision? It happens one evening when the war, and I mean this literally, washes up right on his beach.
So picture it. The mist is rolling in off the ocean. A figure just stumbles out of it. It's a wounded man, an American sailor, a prisoner of war, an enemy. In World War II Japan, this isn't just some guy. He is the living, breathing symbol of the enemy. And just like that, Sadao's quiet life becomes a total moral minefield.
And the stakes become crystal clear. Almost instantly, Sadao himself says it. If we sheltered a white man in our house, we should be arrested. And if we turned him over as a prisoner, he would certainly die. So there's no safe choice here. Harboring him is treason. Turning him in means the man dies. It's an impossible situation.
And this is the moment that sparks the huge central conflict of the story. It's this gut-wrenching battle between humanity and patriotism, between two totally opposing duties.
You can really see the two sides pulling him apart. On one side, he's got his duty as a doctor. Save any life, period. Uphold his professional ethics. Just act with human compassion. But on the other side is his duty as a patriot. Eliminate the enemy. Obey the law of the land during a war. Show loyalty to your nation. Every single part of him is being pulled in a different direction.
And Sadao's own thoughts really nail the heart of the problem. He says, the strange thing is that if the man were whole, I could turn him over to the police without difficulty. But since he is wounded, see, it's the wound. The man's vulnerability is what changes everything. It flips a switch and Sadao the patriot takes a back seat to Sadao the healer. The enemy has just become a patient.
And look, this decision doesn't just affect him. It creates these ripple effects through his entire household. His wife, Hana, she's torn between helping this man and being terrified for her own family. The servants? Oh, they're having none of it. They're all about fear and patriotism, and they actually end up leaving the house. And then you have the general, who we'll get to, who only cares about himself. So Sadao, he's completely, utterly alone in this struggle.
So, feeling all this pressure, Sadao does what a lot of us would probably do, right? He goes to a higher authority, hoping for a solution. But this is where things take a really dark and kind of cynical turn.
Sadao confesses everything to this old general. And the general's solution, it has nothing to do with justice or patriotism. Nope, it's all about him. He's sick, and he needs Sadao, his doctor. So he promises to send his own private assassins to, secretly, take care of the prisoner. It just shows you how morally bankrupt the leadership is. The very people Sadao should be able to trust are completely corrupt.
So, Sadao waits. The first night, nothing. He's tormented, leaving the garden door unlocked, listening for any sound, any sign of the assassins.
The second night, still nothing. Just this awful, unbearable silence. You can just feel the tension ratcheting up, and with every quiet morning, he's more and more alone. Then comes the third night, and the prisoner is still there. It finally hits him. The general just forgot. He's so wrapped up in himself, he completely forgot to send the killers. So authority has totally failed.
The moral responsibility he tried to hand off, it's been thrown right back in his lap. He is 100% on his own now.
And this, right here, is the turning point. He's been abandoned by a society, abandoned by authority. So Sadao stops waiting for someone else to solve his problem. He decides to create the solution himself. He chooses to act.
And the plan he comes up with is actually pretty brilliant, and it's so humane. First, he gives the prisoner a boat. He stocks it with food, water, and clothes. He tells him exactly how to get to a nearby island where no one lives. He even gives him a flashlight for signaling. He tells him to wait for a Korean fishing boat to pass by. This is so much more than just patching up a wound. Sadao is actively planning this man's escape, taking total control of the situation.
And in doing this, Sadao finally chooses his shared humanity with his prisoner over the whole ideology of war. His internal battle is over. In the end, it wasn't about being Japanese or being American trained. It was about one person choosing to see the human being in another, even when the rest of the world was screaming at him to see an enemy.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, the story leaves us with a really powerful message about what it is that truly defines us as people.
At its very heart, the enemy is all about humanism. It's this idea that puts importance on human value and goodness. Sadao's final choice, it wasn't driven by blind patriotism or prejudice. It was a compassionate, logical solution to a very human problem. He basically affirms that one single life is more valuable than all the abstract hatred that comes with war. And the story closes with this really haunting question from Sadao himself. The prisoner is gone, he's safe, and Sadao is standing there, looking out at the water, and he just wonders, strange, I wonder why I could not kill him. He's thinking about all the reasons he had to hate this man, yet he couldn't do it. And that question just hangs there, not just for him, but for us too. What is that thing inside of us that, even when things are at their absolute worst, chooses compassion, chooses life?